tuned in into Television Nigerian. I am Priscilla Wurum with the PM News. Barely 18 months after a security summit was held to provide solutions to the recurrent cases of killing, kidnappings and banditry and other criminal activities in Nigeria, the Nigerian Senate says there is need for another one to be held. The report.
The Senate had on February 8, 2018 organized a summit on the security challenges in the country and made 18 recommendations on how to address them. It had recommended that the nation's security infrastructure be reviewed and strengthened, as well the need to increase the size of the police, military and paramilitary. During the plenary session on Tuesday, Senator Ayo Akinyelore raised an order 42 and 52 of the Senate standing rules over the death of Funke Olakunri, the daughter of Afenifere leader Reuben Fashorati. The senator condemned in strong terms the criminal attacks that claimed the life of Funke along the Benin-Ore Expressway by unknown gunmen.
Further note, the quarrelsome murder of Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, daughter of Pa Reuben Fashorati, the Nigerian leader of Afenifere, on Friday, 12 July 2019, by some armed gang who opened fire on her vehicle and other commuters at Kajola Road in Ondo State. Recall that there have been series of such attacks on commuters on the Benin-Ore Shagamu Express Road, Ife, Ilesha, Akure Road, the deplorable state of insecurity on this express road.
A cross-section of senators who contributed to the motion said the rate of hopelessness that comes with security crisis in the country needs urgent measures.
Mr. President, there is nothing that we do here that pales if we don't get our security situation right in this country. Only last week, we discussed here the issue of the Continental Free Trade Agreement, and all to my surprise, Ghana has now been made to be the headquarters of this Continental Free Trade Agreement headquarters. This is a major loss for this country, Mr. President.
Mr. President, what I would not want to subscribe to is that this is being perpetrated by a particular ethnic group. From the various reports that we have received in this chamber, Igbos have been killed, Yorubas have been killed, Fulanis have been killed, Hausas have been killed. So we must not succumb to the insinuation that what is happening is being perpetrated by a particular ethnic group.
It is going to be a responsibility of all of us. We shouldn't center it, and we should not try as much as possible to make it look as if it is a particular set of people that do this thing. I have seen where they said these are herdsmen. But at the end of the day, after the arrests, they were not Fulani people. They were not Hausa people. They were from different parts of the country.
Ruling on the motion, the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, equally lamented on the situation.
I believe that the security situation is all over the country. It is unfortunate that we had this incident. I will therefore suggest, like some of our colleagues in their presentation mentioned, we should have one robust national summit on the security situation of this country.
The Senate, however, observed a minute of silence in honor of Funke Olakunri. Meanwhile, the Green Chamber, on the other hand, urged the Inspector General of Police, Idris Mohammed, and other security agencies to fish out the perpetrators of the crime to serve as a deterrent to others. The lawmakers agreed to send honorable members of the House as delegates to pay condolence visit to the family of Mrs. Olufunke Olakunri and the government of Ondo State over the loss of their daughter. A minute silence was also observed by them in honor of late Mrs. Olufunke Olakunri. Amina Adamo, TVN News.
The Senate will today screen Justice Tanka Mohammed, whose name was forwarded last week to the Red Chamber for consideration as Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Tanko, who has held the position in an acting capacity, will be screened by a committee, of the whole Senate. The decision to screen the nominee was taken after a voice note called by Senate President Ahmed Lawan. President Muhammadu Buhari has last week forwarded the acting CJN's name to the Senate for confirmation in accordance with Section 23, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution. Our correspondent Sandro Guada has more.
The Senate had on February 8, 2018 organized a summit on the security challenges in the country and made 18 recommendations on how to address them. It had recommended that the nation's security infrastructure
We do apologize for that mix-up. President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with former Kaduna State Governor and former National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party Senator Ahmed Makafi on the death of his father, Alhaji Muhammadu Naiya Majidani Zazu. The president also commiserated with the government and people of Kaduna State and Zazu Emirate on the passage of the Majidani Zazu, who was a strong voice for his community. The president's prayers and thoughts, according to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity Garba Shehu, are with the McAfee family, friends and well-wishers as they mourn the illustrious community leader. He prayed Almighty Allah to accept the soul of the departed and comfort those mourning. Senate President Dr. Ahmed Lawan has approved the appointment of Courage Maman and Ola Awoniyi as his Deputy Chief of Staff and Special Advisor on Media, respectively. This was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday by the Special Assistant to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Muhammad Isa. All the appointments approved by Lawan, according to the statement, were Abubakar Sadiq Usman as Special Assistant and New Media, Kabri Adabu as Special Advisor on Security and Intelligence, and Muhammad Mukhtar Yalwali as Special Advisor on Health. According to the statement, the 58-year-old Awoniyi is a graduate of University of Ibadan, where he obtained a BSc in Psychology and holds Masters in Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice and Masters in International Affairs and Diplomacy, both from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and also obtained a postgraduate diploma in journalism from International Institute of Journalism, Abuja, in 1997. All the appointments are with immediate effect. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka on Tuesday denied, saying the Hertzman challenge has eroded President Muhammadu Buhari's achievement, while reacting to Monday's report in the nation's newspaper. According to the statement, he stated that he denounced is very strong terms. The report in The Nation of July 15, 2019 regarding the exchange with school pupils who visited him in Abeokuta on Sunday, July 14th, as part of the organized event on his 85th birthday, saying he is appalled that such a twisted and unprofessional account could be disseminated by a paper that has earned itself a high level of public regard, not only for its reporting, but for the galaxy of perceptive contributors on national affairs and other issues of public interest. He stated that such outrageous ploy is no different from the conduct of social media commentators, especially at election time, who lack the courage to propagate their personal opinions, impudently steal the identities of others, noting that he's been a favorite, including pasted photographs in order to participate in public discourse. He added that it is sad to see these unprincipled conduct being adopted by the print media. The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the freezing of bank accounts belonging to two firms, AM Project Consultancy Limited and Ranas Medical Consultants Limited, for alleged fraud. Justice Nicholas Owoibo granted an ex parte originating summons by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which was moved by its counsel, Kofre Uduak. The judge granted the commission's prayer for an order empowering it to instruct Zenith Bank PLC's managing director to freeze the account number belonging to AM Project Consultancy pending conclusion of investigation and firm possible prosecution. He also approved a similar application over an account number belonging to Ranas Medical Consultants. An EFCC operative, Gambo Salisu, in a supporting affidavit, said he is part of a team assigning to investigate a criminal complaint of obtaining 125 million naira by false pretense and issuance of dot checks against the respondent. According to him, the Commission on March 1st received a criminal complaint from Guarantee Trust Bank PLC and now alleging obtaining money by false pretense and issuance of dot checks against the firms. A recap of the headlines. Senate calls for nationwide summit. Senate said a screen Muhammad for CJN. Buhari condoles with McAfee on father's death. Lawan appoints SA Media Deputy Chief of Staff. Court freezes NDDC contractors' accounts for fraud. Germany mulls collaboration with ECOWAS. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Regarding burning issues ranging from politics, religion, economy, just name it. Issues of the Moment is your information hub.
Thanks for staying tuned. Constant Chona, the country director of Oxfam in Nigeria, an NGO, says improved governance in the agricultural sector is key to the reduction of poverty and improving economic development. Chona said this on Tuesday in Lokoja during stakeholders' consultative meeting in 2020 agricultural budget organized by Action Aid Nigeria, Oxfam and ECOWAS Commission, including one campaign, CAADP, non-state actors, coalition and the Ministry of Budget and National Planning. The country director said Nigeria needed to develop smallholder farmers because many Nigerians work in the agricultural sector and agriculture had been an important revenue earner for the country and expressed surprise over the ignorance of state governments about key national policy instruments and frameworks such as the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program. However, he said he was awe-stricken by the relative lack of awareness of these state governments on the Nigerian Agricultural Resilience Framework and Nigerian Agricultural Investment Promotion. The German government, through the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Tuesday in Abuja, facilitated a meeting of members of ECOWAS member states to strengthen collaborative efforts in tackling insecurity in the sub-region. Dr. Vladimir Krek, resident representative of CAS Nigeria, said the two-day meeting high-level brought together security chiefs, parliamentarians and governments to discuss ways of improving the security architecture of West Africa. According to him, the security crisis in the West Africa was a huge which spread across countries in the sub-region that could not be tackled by one country alone, but a joint effort of member states, adding that the German government has assisted Nigeria in its fight against the insurgents in the northeast in several ways, most of which are not known to many Nigerians. Meanwhile, he listed the areas of support to include providing equipment to the Nigerian army and capacity building of the military on how to use the equipment, and the German government to maintain the hospitals in Kaduna and casualties where soldiers wounded in Borno State and other conflict regions are being treated. The CAS representative said that it was important to bring stakeholders from the sub-region together, but what was more important was to achieve a fruitful deliberation and continuity of the meeting to put an end to insecurity in the sub-region. Major General Bulama Biu, the General Officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army, has called on remnants of the Boko Haram insurgents to save themselves from the imminent calamity by surrendering to the military troops to end the war. Biu, who spoke with newsmen in Maiduguri, warned that the military's final onslaught against the insurgents would be sustained until they are completely neutralized. The GOC was recently granted accelerated promotion by President Muhammadu Buhari for the extraordinary feats, exemplary leadership, commitment, and valor recorded under his command in the counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast Zone. According to him, the collective efforts put in place by officers and men of the division translated to his elevation to the rank of Major General in the Army, urging the troops to continue to display professional commitment towards restoring peace and sanity in the Northeast Zone, and well-meaning Nigerians to continue to support the armed forces' peace-building initiatives in order to achieve lasting solution to the insecurity in the country. The acting Consul General of the United States in Nigeria, Osman Tat, has advised over 303 Nigerian students from 17 southern states preparing to leave for studies in about 225 universities and colleges in the U.S. to be focused, learn and return to give back to the country. Tat spoke on Tuesday in Lagos at the pre-departure orientation program organized by Education USA at the U.S. Consulate General. The U.S. official said he was impressed that the students met admission requirements for American universities, with some getting up to $7.5 million in full or partial scholarship, urging them to return to help Nigeria realize its potential. 13 of the students, comprising 10 undergraduates and 3 postgraduates, are beneficiaries of education grants from Education USA Opportunity Fund. That was the PM News. Many thanks for watching. I am Priscilla Iwer.